We have a problem. I hate a lot of clubs, but I don't hate any club enough to make a fool of myself. I love my club, but I don't love my club enough to go and purposely make a fool of myself. A 12-year-old, a 22-year-old, and a 32-year-old, they can all banter, but they shouldn't banter in the same way. If they do, at least one or two of them is being stupid. Legacy media. You should be the adults in the room at all times. You have institutional credibility, editorial authority, and a reach that reaches 100 million plus people. There comes a responsibility with that. You should pride yourself in journalism. And what am I getting at? All types of content is fine. You have banter and you have rage baiting, you have clownery. Okay. You also have people who tell stories. Okay. You also have those who give you the behind the scenes perspectives on what goes on in the locker room, in a dressing room, and in their careers and all of that. That's fine. And then you also have analysis. Why is all the attention towards the first thing? Why is everyone trying to cater to the lowest common denominator of every person? The most basal feelings that people have. Bare, stupid, unintelligent thoughts and feelings. That is not what legacy media and ex-pros should feed into under any circumstances. They should have some level of pride in themselves. Because it is only because you are joining the race to the bottom that you will come out and make a fool of yourself. I refuse to believe that Mikel is this stupid. Like, he has embarrassed us in a lot of ways, right? Talking about Arsenal, embarrassing. But I refuse to believe that somebody like him, who has one Premier League goal in his entire career, one. He has the same amount of Premier League goals as Alisson, a goalkeeper. And his one goal, by the way, came from a set piece. I refuse to believe that Mikel won the title in 14-15. And in that season, 14 of Chelsea's games, almost half of all their games, was 0-0, 1-0, or 1-1. I refuse to believe that he doesn't have any sense of self-awareness to come out and say the embarrassing things he said on TalkSport. To the extent that his own captain came out a day or 2 days after, and of course he didn't directly reference him, but said, can people stop being stupid and talking about a potential Premier League champion and saying they are not legitimate, saying they are not this, saying set pieces are that. That is something I expect to see on Twitter from clowns, from bots, from children, or down the pub from drunkards. I don't expect to see that from a high-level, top-level, ex-elite pro athlete. Have some pride. Have some shame. Jesus. It is embarrassing, bro. If you are an expert on anything and you speak on that thing that you are an expert on for 5, 10, 20 minutes, I, who is not an expert, should not listen to you and feel dumber after it. I should listen to you and for 1, 2, or 3 minutes at least out of your speech should be like, wow, that's thought-provoking. I never thought of that. That is when you know that you are communicating intelligently. But if everything you say is to get a rise out of people, is to get people clicking and commenting and sharing or reposting, or like what I'm doing now, making videos about you, if that is all you are about, you are in a disgrace. Have some shame, have some pride. What is wrong with all of you? Stop catering to the lowest common denominator of man and the most basal feelings. It is embarrassing. Have some standards for yourself. I promise, if you give intelligent analysis and you're good at it, it'll fly. I promise, if you give thought-provoking stories and they are truly thought-provoking and good and intuitive, it will fly. You don't have to be the court jester. We have enough court jesters. Leave fans to be court jesters. You are an ex-elite pro athlete. Act like it. Arsenal. Oh.